Your waifu isn't real. Sorry. Anime stocks have gone up 10% across the board in the last year alone. I'm talking a 200% increase in manga sales, more new anime than you can count, and movies so good they should have been at the Oscars. Behind all this, there's one singular driving force that's caused this tidal wave of culture that's breaching our shores, and that's waifus. Nah, I'm just screwing around. Anime is anime because of the jaw-dropping stories, the breathtaking fights, and the nut-twisting characters. That being said, I ain't watching shit if it's all dudes. There, I said it. I'm here for the waifus. And I'll go out on a limb and say that so are 2/3 of the anime fans out there. And if you agree, then sit your ass down because we need to talk. Let's start here. It's 2023 and the fresh season of anime has graced us with more new content than a struggling OnlyFans creator trying to make ends meet. Nudes, anyone? More new anime means more waifus, and more waifus means more weebs buying body pillows. This isn't the part I'm worried about. People have been delusionally obsessed with two-dimensional women for the better part of the last 30 years. What I'm worried about is...
Oh, you want to see my butt?
What the fuck?
I don't know if you noticed, but 2D waifus have been slowly but surely clawing their way into our 3D world. They're even starting to become a real option for romance.
They're evolving from manga to anime to VTubers, getting closer and closer to reaching their final form. AI sex robots. I know what you're thinking. This is fucking awesome. No, it's not. It's much worse than everyone thinks. I'm only half joking when I say this is the AI apocalypse Elon was warning us all about. This is how we go extinct. Here's why. November 2018, a man in Japan whips out his iPhone and downloads Tinder. It's full of lovely ladies looking to mingle. There are so many lovely ladies on here. The only problem is, they're not looking to mingle with him. Huh? He swipes and swipes until his thumb turns blue, but barely gets any matches. And the matches he does get? Weeks go by and Akihiko Kondo starts getting resentful, until one day he decides to take control of his dating life and change his fate. He looks himself in the mirror, steals his resolve, and does the only reasonable thing a grown man desperately out of luck with the ladies can do. He marries a VTuber.
Okay, I made most of that up. But Kondo's story is a chilling preview of what's to come when technology finally catches up.
And he's not special. There's thousands of people in Japan who have married or are in relationships with two-dimensional anime women. They're called fictosexuals, and they're part of the LGTB community. You bigot.
The point I'm trying to make here is there's a ton of guys who have given up on relationships with women in favor of catgirl waifus.
How does one become fictosexual? I think the logic goes something like this. Real women are scary and mean. Anime girls will love me forever. So I'm going to date them instead.
And of course these guys get made fun of, and of course they get ridiculed. And historically, that's been enough of a reality check in the past to keep most weebs from marrying their body pillows.
But I get the feeling that there's going to be a lot less laughing and a lot more when Elon finally delivers on his Tesla sex robots. By now, you can probably see that this is a real f***ing problem. But it's only the tip of the wifeberg, because anime waifus also cause...
Let's shift the conversation and talk about 3D women for a sec. When I was younger, I used to think that pretty girls didn't fart. Like, I didn't know if their digestive tracts were specially evolved to not produce gas or if they duct taped their butthole shut every morning before showing up to class. Whatever it was, the idea of a hot girl chugging a family-sized bucket of KFC before farting her ass off just like a dude was something I didn't even consider possible in my reality.
But as we get older and start dating, we start to realize that pretty girls aren't these perfect, omniscient beings. They're just people. They burp, they take their morning dumps and clog up the toilets from time to time. These aren't people. Waifus in anime, particularly harem anime, are designed to be perfect in every single way. They're kind, they're loyal, and their poop probably smells like the inside of a giant bag of Skittles. And while it's cool to pander to the fantasies of horny weebs from time to time, I feel it starts to get a little dangerous when misguided dudes unironically start to confuse fiction with reality. Anime women give men unrealistic expectations.
In the same way, watching too much porn kinda makes you expect every girl to be hot. Watching too much anime can start to make you expect all women to be these angelic, selfless creatures with
thick thighs and hitch-cup boobas. When in reality... Alright, the point I'm trying to make is that women are just people, flawed people, like you and me. And when young weebs raised on anime grow up and start venturing out into the dating world, they find this out the hard way and go, what's the point if I can't have my own Asuna-chan? And choose to stay single, holding out for a real-life anime waifu which, sadly, doesn't exist.
I know one guy who thinks like this, and I'm pretty sure there are way more like him. Which brings us to...
Is it a coincidence? The country that invented waifu culture also has one of the lowest birth rates in the world? Maybe, but I'm gonna make the connection anyway. Did you know that Russia banned isekai? This was all the way back in 2021, about a year before the war. Anime is a great storytelling device, bringing to life unique characters from distant realities to explore hard-hitting themes while entertaining us to no end. But where it's not so great is when people start taking shit too far. And I have a huge problem in my relationship, which is making me anxious and I'm afraid of doing the wrong thing. See, I'm extremely attached to waifu name, and I love her very much. I want to be able to give her the world and sing her praises from my heart for all eternity. But I feel like a disrespectful freeloader when I'm with her, which makes me really sad and keeps me up at night. Why? Because I'm a dude and my two-dimensional waifu might be gay. How do I tell my parents I have a waifu and don't want a real girlfriend? Just tell them 3D females have shitty personalities and will waste your time and money just to backstab you and will always be mediocre and make fun of me when I don't shower for 2 weeks. OMG, 3rd year anniversary and he's so pretty. There's one core problem with waifus, and it's the same reason Russia is boycotting Konosuba. Escapism. Escapism is the idea that you can run away from your problems in the real world by escaping, psychologically at least, into another one. That's one reason isekai is so popular. Are you getting bullied at school? Made fun of at work? Do you have zero luck with women? Well, just put on the latest episode of Smartphone in Another World and be surrounded by hot chicks and infinite power for the next 22 minutes.
Look, I'm not gonna shit on anyone for watching isekai. I love the stuff. But where it starts to get out of hand is when people rely on fiction to cope with their real-life problems.
Getting a waifu or two because you're jaded by how girls treat you at school isn't going to make them treat you better. Sure, you might feel safe and secure in the imaginary arms of your two-dimensional cat-girl friend, but in the long run, it's probably just gonna make things worse. Hiding from the truth doesn't make it go away. It just means that you're gonna have to pay your dues a little later, with interest on top. I know this for a fact. I've seen people live for the longest time in their own distorted realities. When things go wrong and their protective bubble finally pops, they're so far detached from the real world that their entire life falls apart. And they go running back to their mommies at age 40. The world isn't cherries and sunshine, and you're gonna have to face reality sooner or later. So what are you waiting for? Turn off that hentai and watch some real porn instead.